Hello everyone. Today in this session we will discuss about the various engine performance parameters. This includes the indicated thermal efficiency, brake thermal efficiency, mechanical efficiency, volumetric efficiency, relative efficiency or efficiency ratio, brake specific fuel consumption, indicated specific fuel consumption, air fuel ratio and heating value. To understand all these performance parameters, first it is necessary to understand what is indicated power, what is brake power and what is friction power. So let us first understand about the indicated power, brake power and friction power. A diagram appear on your screen represents a energy flow through the reciprocating engine. As we know that in reciprocating internal combustion engine, fuel supplied in a combustion chamber burn in the presence of the air. Due to this combustion process, chemical energy of the fuel is converted into a thermal energy. So first in the diagram, here you can observe that a fuel supplied in a combustion chamber of the engine burn in the presence of the air. Due to this, chemical energy of the fuel is converted into a thermal energy. Now, the whole portion of this thermal energy cannot be utilized to drive the friction as there are energy losses in exhaust, coolant and radiation. So, first you supply the fuel in a combustion chamber of the engine. In combustion chamber, a fuel burn in the presence of the air. Due to this combustion process, a chemical energy of the fuel is converted into a thermal energy. But all this thermal energy cannot be utilized to drive the piston because there are losses in exhaust, coolant and radiation. The remaining thermal energy is converted into a power which is known as the indicated power, or we can say that indicated energy. This indicated power drive the piston. So first a chemical energy of the fuel is converted into a thermal energy by the combustion process, and a portion of the thermal energy after deducting the energy losses in exhaust, coolant and radiation, the remaining energy is known as the indicated energy, or we can say that indicated power. So in short we can say that a power developed in engine cylinder within the engine cylinder is known as the indicated power. This indicated power is used to drive the piston. The movement of the piston is transferred to the crankshaft through the connecting rod, and you will get the useful power at the output of the engine. But here it should be remembered that during a transmission of indicated power from piston to crankshaft through the connecting rod, there are many mechanical components. So there are further energy losses in friction, pumping and various unaccounted sources. So this all indicated power cannot be utilized to develop a useful work. Some of this portion is loss in friction, pumping and unaccounted losses. The remaining power is available at the output shaft of the engine, which is known as the brake power. Now, in case of reciprocating internal combustion engine, indicated power is always less than the brake power, and the difference between the indicated power and brake power represents a energy loss in friction in pumping and various unaccounted losses. So this difference between the indicated power and brake power is known as the friction power. So, so this is the energy flow through the reciprocating engine. First we have supply the chemical energy of the fuel in the combustion chamber. In the presence of the air, a fuel burn. Due to this, a chemical energy is converted into thermal energy. Some portion of this thermal energy is lost in the exhaust coolant radiation, and remaining portion is converted into a power, which is known as the indicated power. So power developed within the engine cylinder to drive the piston is known as indicated power. This indicated power is transferred to the crankshaft through the connecting rod. During this transmission, some portion of this indicated power is lost in friction, pumping and unaccounted. Remaining portion is available as a useful power at the output of the engine known as the brake power, and the difference between this indicated power and brake power clearly indicate there is energy losses in friction, which is known as friction power. So this is the concept about the indicated power, brake power and friction power. So in definition form, first one is indicated power, which is in short form it is represented by the IP. Power developed by the combustion of fuel in the combustion chamber is called indicated power. So in short, you can read this definition as power developed within the engine cylinder is known as the indicated power. Second is brake power. In short form, it is represented as BP. Power available at output shaft of the engine is called brake power. This is the final output power of the engine. And third is friction power, which is short form represented as FP. The difference between the indicated power and brake power in the is the here is in, here is. Here is one correction, here is not in, is. So the difference between the indicated power and brake power is the indication of power lost in mechanical components of the engine, and it is known as the friction power. So friction power FP is equal to indicated power IP minus brake power BP. So this is the concept about indicated power, brake power and friction power. So you can now write that a power developed within the engine cylinder is known as indicated power. Power available at the output shaft of the engine, which is final output of the engine, is known as brake power. And difference between this indicated power and brake power. Now for the engine, indicated power is always greater than brake power. So that this difference between indicated power and brake power is indication of the power lost in mechanical components of the engine, and it's known as the friction power. Now we will move towards the discussion of the various engine performance parameters. So let us discuss first engine performance parameter, which is thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency of an engine is important since it determines how efficiently the fuel is being used in the engine. Now, if the thermal efficiency of the engine is calculated based on indicated power, then it is known as indicated brake thermal efficiency. And if thermal efficiency of the engine is calculated based on brake power, then it is known as brake thermal efficiency. So first of all, remember, a thermal efficiency determines how efficiently the fuel being used in the engine. So as we have discussed in the energy flow diagram, that a fuel supplied in the combustion chamber of the engine burn in the presence of the air. Due to this combustion, first chemical energy is converted into a thermal energy, and this thermal energy now utilized for drive the piston, which is the indicated power, but all portion of this thermal energy is not available. So thermal efficiency determines how efficiently the fuel is being used in the engine. So as I have told, if thermal efficiency is calculated by considering a indicated power, then it is known as indicated thermal efficiency, and it is represented by eta IT. So indicated thermal efficiency is the ratio of energy in the indicated horsepower to the fuel energy. Now first of all, to calculate the efficiency of any mechanical component, we know that simple formula is output divided by input. Output divided by input. Now, in case of engine, what is our input? What is our input? So as we have discussed in energy flow diagram, that our input is energy supplied by fuel. Our input is energy supplied by fuel. This is our first input. So energy supplied by fuel, it is represented by, suppose MF is the mass of the fuel supplied multiplied by, now we know that the fuel has a calorific value and it is given by QLHV, lower heating value of the fuel. Now question is, what is calorific value? Now calorific value is energy released by the combustion of the unit quantity of the fuel. Suppose we burn a 1 kg of the fuel, then whatever the energy we get by the combustion process is known as heating value or calorific value of the fuel. So we know that the calorific value generally it is measured as kilojoule per kg. It is kilojoule per kg. Amount of energy released by the combustion of the unit quantity of the fuel. This is kilojoule per kg, and MF is the mass flow rate of the fuel. It is kg per second. It is kg per second. So this is kg and kg cancel out. Finally, you will get kilojoule per second. Kilojoule per second, and kilojoule per second we know that it is kilowatt. So this is the input to the engine. This is input to the engine. So here you can indicate a diagram, you can show that input is energy supplied by fuel. And in case of engine, energy supplied by fuel is given by input, and input is MF into QLHV. Now what we will get as an output? What we will get as an output? So as we have discussed, by the combustion of this fuel, some portion of the energy is lost. By the combustion of the fuel, thermal energy is released. Now some portion of this thermal energy is lost in exhaust, coolant and radiation. The remaining portion is converted into a power, which is indicated power. This is indicated energy, which is actually used to drive the piston. This is the indicated power or indicated energy which is actually used to drive the piston. So this is our output. So our output is indicated power IP, and it is in kilowatt, indicated power in kilowatt. So by putting the values of the indicated power, mass flow rate of the fuel and lower heating value of the fuel, you will get indicated thermal efficiency. So finally, So as we have discussed, this is eta IT, indicated thermal efficiency. Now this is energy equivalent of IP, or in short form you can say that it is indicated power, and it is taken in kilowatt. It is taken in kilowatt. This is kilojoule per second. Energy equivalent of IP, which is in kilojoule per second. Energy supplied by fuel. Energy supplied by fuel in kilojoule. Energy supplied by fuel, it is kilojoule and per second. So finally you will get this energy supplied in kilowatt. Remember, this MF represents a mass flow rate of fuel. It is taken in kg per second. Multiply by QLHV. It means lower heating value of the fuel, and it is taken as kilojoule per kg. And lower heating value of fuel means energy released by the combustion of the unit quantity of the fuel when water vapor is not condensed. It is known as the heating value. As we know, the general definition of calorific value is energy released by the combustion of the unit quantity of the fuel is known as heating value or calorific value of the fuel. Now this kg cancel out, so finally remaining is kilojoule per second. So mass of fuel per second, volume now in case of gaseous fuel, suppose we are using CNG, LPG, then in that case we have to use volume in place of mass. In QLHV, it is represented as lower calorific value of fuel. So this is the meaning of indicated thermal efficiency. Now, second is break thermal efficiency, eta BT. Break thermal efficiency is the ratio of energy in the break power to the fuel energy. So first here you can observe that in the formula of indicated thermal efficiency, in numerator we have indicated power. Now as we have discussed, thermal efficiency determine how efficiently fuel is being used in the engine. So it is related with the fuel, how efficiently the fuel is being used in engine. So in indicated thermal efficiency and break thermal efficiency, input remains same, which is energy equivalent by fuel. This input remains same. Only the change is in numerator, that is in output. If we consider indicated power as the output, then it is indicated thermal efficiency, and if we consider break power as the output, then it is break thermal efficiency. So this is the energy equivalent of BP. BP stands for break power, and it is taken as kilojoule and per second. So kilojoule per second. Energy supplied by fuel, it is also in kilojoule per second, as we discussed in previous slide how it will get kilojoule per second. So you will know MF is the mass flow rate of the fuel, and volume in case of gaseous fuel, and QLHV is a lower heating value of the fuel. So only change in its numerator, that is in output. If we consider output as a break power, then it is break thermal efficiency, and if we consider IP, here we consider IP, then it is indicated thermal efficiency, and denominator always indicate energy supplied by fuel, because thermal efficiency indicate how efficiently a fuel being is used in engine. So input remains same, which is energy supplied by fuel. Only change is output. If in numerator we use IP, then it is indicated thermal efficiency, and if we use BP, then it is break thermal efficiency. So this is the concept about the indicated thermal efficiency and break thermal efficiency. Now, what is mechanical efficiency? It is eta M. The mechanical efficiency of an engine is defined as a ratio of brake power to the indicated horsepower power provided to the piston. So first of all, consider our energy flow diagram. So as we discussed, how efficiently fuel being used in engine is represented by its thermal efficiency. Now efficiency of fuel conversion, it is a thermal efficiency. Now as we have discussed, this indicated energy is or indicated power is used to drive the piston. Due to this, the piston start reciprocating motion in this cylinder. Now this indicated power is transmitted to the crankshaft and through the connecting rod, but all portion of this indicated power cannot be available as a useful work at the outputs out of the engine, as there are losses in friction, pumping and undercount, because there are many mechanical components through when power is transmitted from piston to crankshaft through the connecting rod. Due to this mechanical component, some portion of this indicated power is lost in friction. So output power, brake power, is always less than indicated power. So now efficiency of the transmission of this indicated power to the crankshaft through the connecting rod is measured in terms of mechanical efficiency. So remember, as you discussed, efficiency of how efficiently fuel is being used in engine is measured by thermal efficiency, and how efficiently the power is transmitted from how the indicated power is transmitted from piston to crankshaft through the connecting rod, and finally the output we will get is brake power. It is measured by mechanical efficiency. So mechanical efficiency is equal to brake power. This brake power is our output. This is our output. And this indicated power is our input. This indicated power is our input. So brake power divided by indicated power, ratio of brake power divided indicated power, it is known as mechanical efficiency, and it represents how efficiently a indicated power developed in the engine cylinder is transmitted from piston to crankshaft through the connecting rod and finally available as a output as a brake power in the engine output shaft. Now, mechanical efficiency in terms of brake thermal efficiency and indicator thermal efficiency is given by eta Bt divided by eta It. So this is the brake thermal efficiency, this is the brake thermal efficiency, and this is the indicated thermal efficiency. You can derive this formula easily. Now this is brake power. Divide this brake power by the MF into QHV, QLHV, all divided by similarly IP and divided by same MF into QLHV. So we have divided the denominator and numerator by the energy supplied by fuel. This is the energy supplied by fuel. Now we know that this is Bp upon MF QLHV is brake thermal efficiency, and this IP upon MF into QLHV, it is indicated thermal efficiency. So on simplifying this is mechanical efficiency. Now make the brake thermal efficiency as a subject of the equation. So brake thermal efficiency is equal to mechanical efficiency. This is mechanical efficiency multiplied by indicated thermal efficiency. So we can say that brake thermal efficiency is a product of the mechanical efficiency and indicated thermal efficiency. Now the diagram which is appear on your screen represents a various efficiencies we discuss here. So first we supply the energy in the form of fuel in the combustion chamber of the fuel, and it is converted into a thermal energy, and this some portion of this thermal energy is lost in exhaust, coolant and radiation, and remaining portion is available as a indicated power. Now this indicated power drive the piston and transmitted this indicated power to the crankshaft to the connecting rod. During this transmission, some portion of the indicated power is lost in pumping and friction. And finally, the output, whatever the output we will get in the output shaft of the engine is the brake power. So, this is the diagrammatic representation of various efficiencies. As we have discussed, indicated thermal efficiency, brake thermal efficiency and mechanical efficiency. So here we have completed our today's session. In our next session, we will discuss some more engine performance parameters. Thank you. Have a nice day.